And welcome to the second part of the earlier video that I recorded, which was about the Florida Gators. Now, in the first part of the video, we talked about the 2022 season, but in this video, we'll be talking about the 2023 season, because the schedule has been unveiled, and we know the games that Florida are going to be playing when it comes to this. Now, the first game of the season is going to be at Utah. And last season, at Utah, we won 29-26, but this season, Utah has been a lot worse. They were ranked when we played them. They're not ranked now. So Utah should be an easy matchup. I see the Florida Gators winning this one, getting the win off their first season. Then we're playing McNeese State. If we lose this game, I don't know how Bill Napier has a head coaching job. I really don't. We're going to win this game and start off the year 2-0. Then we play Tennessee, who most likely will be losing their quarterback and their top wide receiver. So that's going to be a big thing. We're going to beat Tennessee in the third game and start off 3-0. And the Florida Gators hype is going to be going up. And by this point, I think we should be at least ranked in the top 15. Then we play Charlotte. Charlotte is an easy win. So through the first 4 games, the Florida Gators next season should be 4-0. But then we play Kentucky. Kentucky just lost Will Levis, or is going to be losing Will Levis in the draft this year. That's going to be a big part. Losing a quarterback is always a big addition unless you're at Georgia, unless you're at Clemson, unless you're at Alabama. Kentucky's not any of those schools, so Kentucky's going to struggle with a new starting quarterback in the system. And I feel like we're going to start off the season 5-0, beat Kentucky, then get our revenge against Vanderbilt on October 7th, start 7-0, 8-0 when we beat South Carolina. So you're telling, I'm saying this, the Florida Gators are going to be 8-0 by the time we get to Georgia. Do you know how happy I'll be if we get into 8-0? Now, I can obviously see us losing the game against Kentucky, considering the way things have been going the past couple of years. And I can definitely see us losing the Tennessee game. But let's just say we don't start 8-0. We're, let's say, 8-2 or 6-2 or 7-1. I'm gonna say 7-1. I'm gonna say we lose the game against Kentucky. So 7-1 or 8-0. Then we're playing Georgia on October 28th at Jacksonville. Georgia's still going to be one of the best teams. They still have a very good backup quarterback in there. So we're going to lose our second game of the season and move on into 7-2. 7-2 or 8-1. Then we play Arkansas. I'm sorry, Arkansas fans, but do you hear that? That sounds like a loss. So that would be 8-1 to 9-1. Then we'd be playing LSU. And LSU is going to be a lot better than they were this season. So I'm going to say we're going to lose against LSU. Make that 9-2. Then we play Missouri. Make that 10-2. And then the final game of the season is going to be against Florida State, who are supposedly going to be one of the top teams in the NCAA college football season next season. So, through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 games, we are 9-2. I would take that record. I would honestly take that record. 9-2, possibly 8-3 if we lose the game against Tennessee, because I don't really see any way possible we have a losing record this season. There's no possible way the Florida Gators and Bill Napier have a losing record. We are losing Anthony Richardson, but I think that there's a quarterback that we have on our roster that will be able to lead us to the future, and I don't see us having a losing record. Because Anthony Richardson, even when Anthony Richardson was in the game, we were still losing games. So it doesn't really change a thing. And now Bill Napier's going to have his guys. So I think we're going to have, at least by the end of the season at Florida State, either 9-2 or 8-3 record. And we go into Florida State. We play Florida State at Gainesville. And you see this? Florida State's going to be expecting to make the college football playoffs. And we're going to shock them. And we're going to beat Florida State. Yeah, you heard me right, Florida State Seminole fans. We're going to beat the Seminoles, and we're going to end the season off with 2 consecutive wins. And that, at the end of the season, would mean the Florida Gators, after finishing 6-6 this season, would finish with either a 10-3 record, 10-2 record, or a 9-3 record. That would be our record, 10-2 or 9-3. Either way, we're getting a bowl game. We're most likely not going to make the playoffs. I don't think this team is ready for the playoffs. Give us the 2024, 2025, then we can start talking. But when it comes to this season, the 2023 season for the Florida Gators, I think they're going to finish at least 9-3 or 10-2 and possibly have an outside shot. I think by the end of the season, we should at least be ranked in the top 15, possibly even the top 10. But we'll have to see when it comes to this. But looking at the schedule, I like our chances of having a winning record, and I like our chances of having a bowl game. And hopefully, this time, we don't get humiliated like we did this past season.